Welcome back to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt, and tonight we are going to give an official score to a bottle that I've never even seen before. Until, of course, I saw it, and I drank it with friends, and then they gave me the bottle, the remainder, the leftovers. I got to bring home the leftovers. And what do you know? There's several helpings left. Heck yes. Tonight, we're tasting and reviewing Michters 2021 Toasted Barrel Bourbon. Ryan, Mr. Ryan, thank you so much for the Michters Toasted Barrel leftovers. When I hug Ryan Alves, it's like a tractor trailer hugging a tractor trailer. And those tractor trailers are hauling around love. The bottle looks like your typical Michters bottle. It's got the oval, it's got the rectangle, it's got the rectangle, it's got the stars, and it's got the whoop flippity doop over the cork. Batch number 21G2065. Heard that's a good batch. No idea. Let's let the cat out of the bag. You know, now that I say that, that sounds really mean. Who put the cat in the bag? And why? It's a mean thing to do. What's another saying for let's let the cat out of the bag? There's a something in the room that we need. Let's address the monster in the room? That's not it. Let's address Let's address the whatever you need to address in the room. Let's address the whatever would finish that saying in the room. The elephant. Son of a bitch. I got it right. Whew, that took me a bit. Let's address the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about me. I have not been a huge fan of toasted whiskeys, and that is a fact, scientific. I've had Elijah Craig toasted, not a fan. Not a fan at all. Matter of fact, I shot the review for it, and then I gave the bottle away because I was like, get this out of here. Get this crap out of my house. Michters Toasted Barrel Rye just has a funk to it that does not touch me in all the pleasure points of my body and my face. If I'm in the mood for it, it's good, but typically not in the mood for it. I don't know. My favorite toasted products on the planet don't even advertise that they may or may not be toasted at all. And those are the old Carter products, which I absolutely love. Are those even put inside of a toasted barrel? Not that I've heard, but there's just rumors floating around out there. America. There. Sometimes it's better to be safe than soaking wet. That's what I always say. Michters limited release toasted barrel finish Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 45.7% alcohol by volume, 91.4 proof. Distilled in small batches according to the Michters pre-Revolutionary War quality standards dating back to 1753. Toasted barrel finish Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. We are proud to offer this special release of our toasted barrel finish Kentucky straight bourbon. After full maturation in a hand-selected charred white oak barrel, we finish our US 1 bourbon in a new barrel that has been toasted to our exacting specifications. At peak flavor, it is further mellowed by our signature filtration. Wonder what that is. All right, it's time for me to be critical of you. Toasted bourbon. Definitely toasted bourbon. When I smell this, I feel like I'm inside of a toasted barrel. That vanillin is popping out of that toasted barrel smell. So definite vanilla happening here. If you put a piece of oak in your oven for like an hour at 350 degrees, that's kind of what that would smell like. Smells like ovened oak and vanilla. The brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart. Smells like brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart. There is a very distinct lumberyard note to it. like you're walking through the lumber section at Menards. Save big money at Menards. Yeah, very lumber-like. Very lumbery. Toasted Barrel Michters Bourbon. Clear for launch in 3, 2, 1. Down the hatch. Okay. Huh. That is very light on the palate. Super sweet. It's nice. It's actually pretty nice. That's a nice sipping bourbon. Oh, wait. The back end is doing something now. The very late finish just pulled a fast one on me. The flavors actually lingered much longer than I anticipated. A nice sweet brown sugar vanilla all the way back. And then right when I thought I was about to finish, it like switched on the cinnamon. It was like, where's the cinnamon switch? Where's the cinnamon switch? We're running out of time. We're running out of... Cinnamon. Cinnamon on the finish. First sip, kind of dig it. First sip, kind of like it. Let's go in for a second sip and really analyze what's happening here. Focus. I like that. It's like somebody just took a bunch of brown sugar and caramelized a piece of oak in the lumberyard. I like it. On the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, I got this weird rubbery note. A weird, like it was almost like a young note and rubbery note. It was like an Adidas shoe, an Adidas basketball shoe. And that note is the note that I don't like in the Toasted Barrel bourbons and ryes. This is different. Go to your great grandparents. You wander into their home and you open the cupboard above the stove. The cupboard that hasn't been open since Gerald Ford was in office, however long ago that was. Or Eisenhower. How many presidents can I name? Beethoven. Since Beethoven was in office. Old musty cupboard. That's what I'm getting on here. If that cupboard had brown sugar in it. I wish you were a higher proof. I wish you weren't such a baby at 91 proof. But I'll forgive it. I'll forgive it. There's a bit of nuttiness there. A tad bit of nuttiness. Like a honey roasted peanut in there. A honey roasted one. I was not expecting to enjoy it this much. And happy accident. Happy surprise. Do I wish you were a higher proof? Yes. I wish it was a higher proof. Let me say this. This isn't gonna blow you away. This isn't gonna blow your head right off your neck. The low proof kind of prevents that. This is just easy to sip, super sweet, super enjoyable, nothing off-putting, which I was almost expecting, even though I went into it with an open mind. If I saw one of these on a shelf for retail price, would I buy it? Yes, I would. I would for sure. My personal price ceiling on this bottle would probably be around $130. $130? And that's a lot. I don't even know if I would pay $130 for it. Maybe I would. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say unless I was in the situation. And if my wife was there or not. Michters. Limited release Toasted Barrel Bourbon Finish. 2021 edition. Receives a score from Matt tonight, of 7.7. 7.7. It's very good. It's very good. 7.7. This might be one of my favorite 90-ish proof bourbons that I have here. Maybe a tad low, maybe a tad high. I don't know. It's very good. It's a very good bourbon. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey, and like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on going into things with an open mind. Kind of like I tried to do with this. Or like I try to do when I walk into a bar called sacks and saddles. You don't know what's going to happen when you go in there. And when you leave, you have the same amount of money as when you walked in. And a ride home. But maybe not to your home. Maybe a ride to a stranger's house. And then you have to call Uber. And by Uber, I mean emergency services. Because you've been abducted. And you should have seen that coming. But you didn't. And now you're in a heap of trouble. A heap of trouble that you may or may not find your way out of. But if you do, just keep an open mind the next time you're out and about. Because could have turned out better. Just so happens that got abducted by Rory. And Rory was gonna cook you dinner. Good night.